Hello students, with greetings and lots of love, I Devesh Kumar Pathak would take up English teachings for your class 12th. Before I come to teaching, I would like to tell you that in the virtual lecture, I have made an option in which you will be able to see the page of lesson also. When I explain the stuff, kindly go through the lines. Along with, now I start the explanation of the poem My Mother at 66. Before explaining this poem, I would like to aware all the students and their guardians to make yourself safe from infected COVID-19. Please download Arogya Setu app because it will alert all the users if they will come proximity to an infected person. Under the guidance of our district magistrate, Dr. Mannan Akhtar ji, SP District Jalon, Dr. Satish Kumar ji, DIOS Jalon, Mr. BP Patel ji, and the Director of BKD Eldridge Public School, Orai Jalon, Engineer Ajay Tori ji. Poem My Mother at 66. It has been composed by Kamla Das. Kamla Das, 1934 to 2009. My Mother at 66. It has been composed by Kamla Das. Kamla Das, 1934 to 2009, was born in Malabar, Kerala. She is recognized as one of the India's foremost poets. Her works are known for their originality, versatility, and the indigenous flavor of the soil. She has published many novels and short stories. She wrote under the pen name Madhavi Katti. Now I will introduce this lesson. My Mother at 66 is written by Kamla Das, who is famous for capturing complexity of human relationships. The poem My Mother at 66 is one of the finest examples of the human bonding, especially that of a mother and a daughter. It describes the pain and fear of the poet of losing her mother due to harsh reality of life, which is death. Now, I would explain this poem. The poet in this poem describes her mother. She says that she is 66 years old and looks very weak and old. When the poet was returning from her parents' home and was on the way to the airport, her mother was accompanying her. She noticed her mother, who was sitting with her at the back seat of the car. She was sleeping with her mouth wide open. Her face was the color of ash. It looked lifeless. This very thought disturbed her so much that she diverted her mind and looked outside the car. She saw the trees by the roadside which seemed to be running. There were young children running into the playground. All this symbolized life, energy, and happiness in contrast to her mother's appearance. When she reached the airport, she again looked at her ailing mother, who looked old and dull like the big moon in the winter season. The poet was surrounded by the same fear that she had during her childhood, the fear of losing her mother. She thought that maybe this was the last time that she saw her mother alive. Her mother was about to die. What then? She tried to come out of the sadness and smiled at her mother. She said that soon she would see her again. The poet wanted to be with her mother again and did not want to lose her. In the first stanza, driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, Dodge, open mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse and realized with pain. In the first stanza, the poetess explains that once she visited her parents' house in Cochin. It was a Friday. When she was driving back to the airport, her mother was sitting beside her at the back of the car. The poet looked at her mother. She saw that her mother was sleeping and her mouth was open. She further explains that the color of her mother's face was like that of S. This means that there was some smoky appearance on her face. She looked like a dead body. Now the second stanza, that she was so old, she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young. The trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport's security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, went pale. In the second stanza, the poetess realized that her mother had grown old. She felt pain for her, but soon she tried to get rid of this sad thought by diverting her thoughts towards the trees outside. The young trees, although stationary, seemed to be running very fast, as though they were sprinting. She also saw children running out of their houses into the playground. All these things were full of life and energy, contrary to her mother who sat next to her. The poet continues that when she reached the airport, she finished with the security check and stood a few yards away from her mother. She noticed her mother's aging face, which looked so dull, weak, and pale. Now, the third stanza of this poem. As a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar edge. My child so fear, but all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. In the last stanza, the poet compares her mother to a late winter's moon. As the moon in winters is not shiny, and even her mother's face had also lost her youth and shine. As her mother was getting older and weak, the poet feels the fear of separation just as she used to feel during her childhood. As a child, she could not bear the pain of separating from her mother, but now, as her mother has grown old and is about to die, the poet feels that maybe this is the last time that she is seeing her mother. She tries to hide her fear. She then says that she would soon see her mother again. She says so because she does not want to lose her mother. This is the poem My Mother at 66. Thank you. If you like it, like, share, and subscribe.